How's it going, everyone? We'll wait for a few seconds to get settled in, and we'll go ahead and do some housekeeping items and just be informative, take notes, ask a lot of questions. We're here to provide any assistance for you.
All and every, from A through Z, that's what I say to them.
Absolutely.
From A through Z, business-related questions. I cleaned up my desk a little bit before. Because you can, I don't know if you can see my background, but
You're fine. You're fine. All right. So in the time being, introduce yourself. In the chat, just put if you are in business, not yet in business, you have a business idea, you're starting your business, just so we could get to know more about you, your business needs, but at the same time, have you as an example in a conversation presentation based on some of the topics that will be guided in today's conversation. Also, the webinar is being recorded. So if there's any questions, you have to step out, answer a phone call, have an emergency meeting, we will be emailing you the link of our YouTube channel. So you could use it as a reference point. And in addition, I will be emailing you the presentation as well. So it will be another reference and a point of topics and conversation to assist you with any way we can. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. So I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. My name is Jesus Padilla. I am the Florida, pretty much the manager of administrative services here at the Florida SBDC at FIU. And I want to thank you for attending today's webinar. It's with great pleasure to have Lillian Urbant. She is one of our access to capital consultants and startup consultants in our team in the SBDC at FIU to assist you with any questions, concerns, how to start your business, the what's next conversation, along with any access to capital assistance as well. And we'll go more in depth of what is the Miami-Dade Business Navigator. So a brief description of what is the Miami-Dade Business Navigator program. It is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration. It was established by the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 that uses a community navigator approach to help small businesses with the economic recovery. The overall goal is to improve that long-term economic recovery and resilience amongst you, the small businesses. The overall component, it is comprised of the lead hub. At this case, it is the Florida SBDC at FIU. At the center of network of spoke, which are other organizations in Miami-Dade that deploy community, that are community advocates to work with small businesses during the economic recovery. Of which we have several organizations, which is Ascendus, branches, the South Miami-Dade EDC, the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, Prospera, Startup FIU Procurement. All of these organizations are eager to assist you to address any challenges that you are experiencing with your small business needs. If you need some capital assistance, credit repairing, how to do business with the county, state and local, and federal. At the same time, other marketing assistance, business planning, operations, strategic, how to start your own business. We have specialized consultants at your disposal in these fine organizations to assist you. The overall focus is simple. It's to create that local community network to assist the socially and economically disadvantaged businesses with consulting, mentoring, and training as such you're present today. The Navigator partners are specifically targeting the minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned, and LGBTQ-owned businesses. So that was a brief description of the Navigator program. And at the end, I will have the link if you're interested to meet with our specialized consultants under the Navigator, our social media channels, as we have a lot of events, a lot of resources that could definitely benefit and assist you with any challenges, information, resources, or sounding board on how we can assist you to launch your business or elevate it to the next phase of the business growth. So a brief description of who am I and who will be working with you and guiding you in this journey. My name is Jesus Padilla. I'm the program manager slash the manager of administrative services here at the Florida SBDC at FIU. I have worked in the Florida SBDC at FIU for over 6 years. I have co-consultant in the marketing and the startup assistance by providing those innovative tips for entrepreneurs on what would it take to be a successful business venture. I myself, I'm like you. I have that innovative entrepreneurial spirit. I have managed and I have successful side hustles. So I know what it takes. I know some outcomes. I know the trials. I know the tribulations, and of running a small business. In addition, I'm a three-time FIU alum with a master's in marketing and an MBA as well. And now I'd like to introduce you to Lillian Bond, who will be providing additional topics and information for today's webinar.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lillian Bond, and I'm one of the business consultants within the SBA Community Navigator Project program. I am happy to say that this program, which started for me in January 1st, has been a gift because it provides me with the opportunity to help really small businesses. What's my background? My background, I have a bachelor's degree in accounting, a master's degree in tax, and I have my own practice. I am a tax practitioner for more than 25 years. I do consulting, taxes, and accounting in my firm, which is great because you are receiving the same services from me through this program at no cost to you. Back to you.
Perfect, Lillian. And then also, if you have any questions, by all means, put in the Q&A, and throughout the webinar, I'll be monitoring it. So will Lillian as well. And if there's any particular specific questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end or throughout the webinar as well. So this is your webinar. We're starting as strangers. We're gonna leave as family. So anything that we can do to provide of assistance, just don't hesitate. Give us a call, and let's carry the conversation throughout this webinar. Okay. So oftentimes people ask me, why do I enjoy working with the SBDC? Why do I enjoy doing these webinars? It's easy. This is my why. I enjoy assisting aspiring entrepreneurs to start and successfully launch their businesses to create that economic impact in the community. Everyone has their own why. So this is my why, and you could do like a self-reflection as to why you want to start your own business. Overall, there's going to be 2 learning objectives. One of them is to discuss the entrepreneurship, what makes a successful entrepreneur, and what strategies to turn this idea into a business, along with what are the actionable steps and key resources to start your business the right way. There's different avenues how to start a business, but having the right way and the methods, it's more successful, and it mitigates any risks whatsoever. Full disclaimer, this information is intended to provide the information on entrepreneurship and the steps what you may want to take to start your own business. Doesn't cover all scenarios, all circumstances. At the same time, no 2 businesses are the same to begin with. So we strongly encourage you to touch base with any legal or tax professionals, partners, with additional information on some of those key areas, as we strongly encourage you to consult with them. So we'll go on a holistic view, and then if more in depth, I strongly encourage you to once again to touch base with those key professionals in the tax and legal realm. So how do we get started? Does anyone, in the chat, you could put like how do you want to start your business? Where to start? Is it word of mouth? Is it incorporating? Is it getting sales beforehand? How does one get to start their own business? Lillian, how about yourself? Like where did you start doing your business? Was it word of mouth or?
I always loved tax, the tax law, the IRS code. And I remember back then when I started, I worked for a CPA firm, and there was a bunch of us, a lot of accountants. And I started going around my colleagues asking them, let me do your taxes, let me do your taxes. And I'll do it for you for free because I want the practice. And they were willing to do it. I used to run the tax returns by the partner of the CPA firm. And he used to laugh and come out and say, how crazy is this that you guys have years of experience, but she's the only one that is willing to learn taxes.
Yeah.
And that was about 25 years ago. And that's how I started. Then I decided that I wanted to have my own little business because I couldn't start with my colleagues. I wasn't charging them. So I went to Office Depot and bought a calculator, a ledger, because back then we didn't have the software programs. And same thing, I started telling my friends, listen, I do it for you for free the first year. Send me a client, and the next year I give you a 50% referral fee. I will pay you. And back then, I remember there was a law against accountants giving referrals or receiving referrals. But the law had just changed, and that's why I was able to do it. So I would never do anything that's out of the books.
Yeah, and yeah, and these are great answers, you know, with an idea, analyzing the market, also the marketing as well, you know, like how do I sell, you know, these little toys and gadgets. So it's all about understanding the market, having the idea, and how to solve a common problem with a solution that you might have. So overall, what is entrepreneurship? Oftentimes, you know, everyone has their own definitions, points of views. So entrepreneurship is defined as the activity of setting up business or businesses on taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. That's the end goal. But in other words, it's entrepreneurs are risk takers. So part of this presentation is to help you to take that risk, but at the same time to be more calculated risk. So like that, you're not putting all eggs in one basket, seeing what works, what doesn't work, as oftentimes how we say, like, you know, we throw spaghetti to the wall and see what sticks, but we have to determine what kind of spaghetti is what truly sticks. So that's a great way to calculate the best risk and more bang for your buck. So here's some famous entrepreneurs. Everyone knows the Jeff Bezos, the Steve Jobs, but these are some of successful entrepreneurs who have failed and or have also risked their business venture and idea. Like Fred Smith from FedEx, his professor gave him a C on his paper on his new freight service. Can you imagine a world without FedEx? You know, the overnight shipping, or even Henry Ford, his first two car companies had failed. And Hamdi Ulakaya from Chobani, the first company was barely breaking even, and when he sought financing to buy a craft yogurt plant. So these are some famous entrepreneurs. What was interesting is that Mr. Ulakaya and Mr. Smith, they have actually obtained SBA-backed loans as well. So there is possibility, you know, from startups towards the scalability of the businesses, that you're able to get SBA loans, financial capital assistance for the business ventures as well. So these are big businesses, but at the same time, they have to start somewhere. So, and you two are starting somewhere, which is today's webinar. So we talked about being the risk takers. So why are you taking that risk? Many entrepreneurs launch for many reasons: the opportunity, profit, the independence. I want to be my own boss, a challenge. For me personally, the reason why I launched my businesses is a legacy. I want to leave something for my family. So Lillian, why did you take the risk of launching your business?
Let me tell you, when we came from New York, when we came down to live in Florida, we had a couple of businesses here. And I remember going to the accountant, and he would not even take us into his office. He would take us on, he would come out of his office at the reception area. 2 days later, we would get a bill for $450 every time. So I said, you know what? This is my opportunity. That was my risk. Not to pay somebody when I didn't know what was going on. He would not explain anything. And that was my opportunity. That was my opportunity to learn, to practice what I love, which is tax law, and to save money in my case.
Yeah. So in the chat, by all means, I strongly encourage you to type up, what is your reason to launch your business? Is it for opportunity, profit, independence, challenge? What else has not been discussed as to why you're taking that risk? Also, in order to take that risk, you also have to have self-discipline. What it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. You have to be self-directed, self-nurturing, action-oriented, highly energetic. How cool would it be, like, like if you're like personal and humane, you have that human touch, human element. People will definitely buy from you as opposed to be monotonous or very dry. At the same time, be tolerant of uncertainty. That's what we have experienced in the last 2.5 years. Like if you're not adapting towards the market, the wave will take you away. So by all means, by being tolerant of the uncertainty, you're able to be knowing what's the plan ahead. At the same time, what's the environment, what's the climate. So you're able to triage and calculate those risks, as what we have discussed as well. Obviously, oftentimes it's always overwhelming as to where do I learn about entrepreneurship? Is it through books? Is it through YouTube? But from where? It's easy. Learn from others. Go to college, go to investigate your local colleges for classes on small business, entrepreneurship. Talk to successful entrepreneurs. Look for mentors. Network. Ask them for a cup of coffee, and see what it takes if you go into that industry. What are some challenges? What are some outcomes in that field? At the same time, gain some experience in that field. Start a part-time job. Start a part-time business to start. At the same time, take over a successful firm. Become an apprentice. Eventually take over once the owner steps down. Purchase an established business. It could also be a franchising. So there's multiple avenues as to how you can learn about entrepreneurship. Okay. And obviously we talked about having that idea. So how do you know if your idea is a good opportunity? Well, it has to fit in all these buckets. Is there a market need? Is it scalable? Will you generate profit? Are you in that window of opportunity? Is it sustainable? If you miss that opportunity, will people still buy from you? Like a perfect example, beepers. Nowadays, who uses beepers? Not many people. So I cannot open up my own beeper store to sell, because there's no market needs. It's not scalable. I won't be able to generate that much profit. It won't be sustainable. But if I open up a beeper store 20, 30 years ago, by all means, it'll be innovative. I'm taking that idea for an opportunity, and definitely will be able to fulfill the 5 buckets, which is the market need, the scalability, generating profits, the window of opportunity is there, and it's sustainable at the same time. Now, oftentimes we see that you don't have to start from scratch. New product, new service. Some of the most successful companies didn't create new products or services themselves. They brought new strategies, innovations to those existing products or services in that marketplace. Everyone knows the traditional Amazon with bookstores, the iPhone with the mobile stores, Walmart with retail stores. Look at Samsung. In the chat, what is Samsung nowadays? Is it technology? Is it appliances, cell phones? Right, that is what Samsung is. But does anyone know how Samsung started? In the 1930s, they were exporters of dry fish from China. So how could dry fish company to technology come into play? It's all about bringing new strategies and innovations to the products and services already existing in that marketplace. So it's pretty interesting how the evolution, the pivoting, the business models, the reinventing of oneself, the one business will become successful. So once again, you don't have to be, you have to invent something new, but at the same token, strongly encourage you to identify those competitive weaknesses and the market opportunities. Don't say that you're the low, that you offer the lowest cost, because oftentimes it has a perception as the quality and the brand is not good. But by exploiting those weaknesses and those opportunities, it creates a competitive advantage for you. So in the chat, you don't have to give me your business idea, but do you think that you have a business idea that will disrupt the marketplace? Oftentimes we have, when we work with clients, they don't have a business idea, but they do have the experience or the knowledge, the trade of of um of piggybacking and brainstorming as well. And then I see a question right here. Is there a website where you can publish your business idea for an investment bid or search? Elena, I'm not sure. But what I could do is I could email you with some additional websites with one of my other consultants. Is this more like in the tech realm, or is it more products and services? All right. In addition, here are the 4 key steps in starting your business, which is the idea, the planning, the financing, and the launching. We have already discussed the idea, but now how do we implement this idea into paper? So in order to become a successful business, here are the 3 key actions that you need to do. It's understand your market. It's what we have seen in the chat. Developing the business model and creating a business plan. So having these key actions is definitely going to help you to launch a successful business. Now, understanding the market, it's who are the market? Who is it? It's the consumers with unsatisfied wants and needs will have both the resources and the willingness to buy from you. So you need to set out how you're able to reach out to these people by fulfilling their needs, by offering top quality, great service at a fair price. So perfect example, think of each small business as a small canoe. It's easier to mitigate through a canal if there's a tidal wave as opposed to a cruise ship making the 3-point turn. By being a small business, you're that canoe. You have the ability to know the market and quickly adapt to the market needs. So you're easily to mitigate and navigate through the marketplace. At the same time, this is one of my favorite case studies that I did with 7-Eleven. The founder of 7-Eleven stated, give the customers what they want, when and where they want it. By understanding that marketplace, here are some examples of what is 7-Eleven in some respective countries. Look at the United States. 7-Eleven is to grab snacks, a gasoline station, drinks, everyday products on the go. But look at Indonesia. That's where young people hang out, surf the web, is a trendy spot. They meet friends. In Taiwan, service your bicycle for the coffee. So it's different behaviors from different markets as what this business, the 7-Eleven, is giving to the customers when, what, and where they want it. So imagine I tell my friends, let's go to 7-Eleven to hang out. They're just laughing in my face. But in Indonesia, that's where everyone's at. So it's pretty interesting how the founder of 7-Eleven was able to understand the market and how to be successful in those areas. At the same token, network with peers in the industry. Get to know, pick their brain. Knowledge is power. So this is a good opportunity for you to get that experience, understand the existing businesses, understand the behavior of that industry. So like that, you know what to expect. At the same token, don't worry if you don't have access to any market research, industry analysis. We have consultants that can assist you with those information. But at the same time, um, there is free public databases that you could definitely take advantage of, as such the U.S. Census Bureau, the Federal Reserve, the Department of Labor. At the same time, the SBA website also has informative tools on their website as well. Now, by understanding your market, these are some factors, some ideas that could definitely enhance your business venture. The potential demand, the market size, what's the competition like, what economic indicators, are people buying, are people not buying, what's the location, what's the pricing. So in the case in point, as if I want to open up a coffee shop in Miami Beach, what's my potential demand versus if I decide to open up an ice cream shop? How many ice cream shops are there, or coffee shops? Are people buying? Am I in the middle of a building or a high traffic pedestrian walkway? What's my pricing? Am I pricing myself too much that no one's gonna come in? So by analyzing that market, it's definitely gonna help you out to fully understand the full understanding of your ideal clients. Okay. And then as a friendly reminder, I will be sending you the presentation and also the recording link as well once it's uploaded on the YouTube channel. Okay. All right. So by developing the business model, here are the two key areas that you need to focus on: the value proposition and the go-to-market strategy. What is the value proposition? It is that compelling statement on what unique value you're bringing to the marketplace. What are you bringing to the party? This is the one question that I always ask our clients when they're meeting with us. These are some questions you need to ask yourself. What do you offer to the customer? What needs are you satisfying? How are you different from the competition? If a client says, "Oh, I offer everything to my clients. I'm satisfying all their needs. I'm the only one in the marketplace." Well, we need to do a more deeper dive analysis of your business and the value proposition, because, like I said, no two businesses are the same. So we need to find that ideal sweet spot to go after those clients that will be buying from you in this highly competitive marketplace. At the same token, the go-to-market strategy is a step-by-step roadmap. So you're not going to build the roof without pretty much putting up the pillars of the wall or clearing out the foundations. So this as is different from the marketing strategy, but it's symmetrical, as it is involved in achieving your value proposition, setting yourself apart from your competitors, but it's consistent at the same token. Focus on defining that target market. Who are your customers? How will you reach your customers, and what pricing you will be doing? Is it going to be subscription based? Is it going to be trial, as what Lillian was doing? Do the referral for the second year. So it's how to get that clientele, how to put your name out there. And doing so, like I said, you have to screenshot it. This will be on the PDF. Here are some great websites and links for you to definitely create those business models, the go-to-market strategies, value propositions, a more in-depth information. But like I said, you could connect us with our consultants under the Navigator program, that they could definitely go more hands-on, more in-depth of your business and industry. So like I said, we're here to assist you and address any challenges that you're experiencing in this exciting business journey. At the same time, you could definitely in the chat, you could definitely put like, have you done a business plan? Is it overwhelming? Are you overwhelmed of drafting a business plan, just based on the chat, just let me know, how was your experience of developing a business plan? Was it stressful? Was it easy? Or you just gave up on that? In the time being, I do have a question. When you're meeting with a consultant, and the consultant is there with you through the entire journey, but at the same time is addressing those challenges. So for example, like I want to start my own business. Lillian will be able to assist you as to what you would need: the business license, the permits, the licensing, what business entity, but not fully in depth, but like the very basic. And then you need some capital assistance. Lillian can assist you, but then in terms of the marketing side, then that's when we make a referral for another consultant. So just think of it as you're having an entire pathway with consultants at your disposal and guiding you along the way. So we're here with you. So oftentimes this is where we get a lot of our clients, they lose track when it comes to drafting a business plan. It's overwhelming. Because this is where it forces the owners, the potential owners, to specify what they will offer. It's also a mandatory when talking to bankers and investors. So I strongly encourage you not to be discouraged when developing a business plan, to delay your opportunity to move forward. Like I said, just even an outline, just put this idea in paper, so that will be able to assist you. Yep, I completely, yeah, Karen, that's one of the common items and comments that we get. It's difficult, but by getting help, it's we're here to help you out. So it's not this journey is, you're not alone. You have specialized consultants walking with you as well. This is a great way to utilize a business plan. It's called a business model canvas. This is a really great template and document that you could definitely Google. You could definitely through Canva, you could create one. This definitely creates that outline and ask you the key questions of also what a business plan entails, but this is more a general bullet points, so that you're able to create the concrete, putting the skeleton to the body, and then afterwards go more in depth to put the meat into the body. So the business model canvas, I strongly encourage you to take advantage of it because it helps you out to start the development of that business plan. So just the same one. Sorry about that. So right here are also some helpful links in the business planning in terms of how to develop them. So strongly encourage you to take, like I said, you're getting this presentation, so you could copy and paste the links to fully understand more of the business model canvas, the templates, and what would it take to develop one as well. Like I said, when you're ready to write that business plan, understand who's your audience. At the same time, by using your executive summary, that is where you catch the reader's attention, the interest, to draw that potential partner, banker, investor to continue reading the presentation. Okay, just give me 1 second. Right here, so right here. Yeah, and yes, you're gonna be, yes, go ahead, Lillian.
I just wanted to add that there's another program that's called Business Plan Pro that you can download it. Back then it used to be for free, but now it gives you literally what you should be writing, and you just need to make the changes to your business idea.
Yep.
It's very good.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, right here. You see?
Yeah, there it is.
Great minds think alike. Yeah, so at the same time, the SBA website does have a really good guide to write that business plan. Like I said, these are just rough drafts, so you could develop, and then we'll go more in depth with our consultants, because like I said, no two businesses are the same, no two industries are the same. So by all means, this will definitely tailor, but at least have an outline, a draft to go more in depth, so Lillian could assist you to get the necessary capital or the business operations because it's always good to update your business plan at the same time.
I just wanted to add that once you get that business plan going, let's say in my area, let's say I go into the capital access, I will be helping you with the projections, with whatever numbers you need to have in the business plan, but it's within the marketing plan, you will be referred to a marketing consultant. So you can work one-on-one while you're building your business plan.
Correct. Yeah, and that's right. And what's interesting is like the business plan is being updated, because like I said, like the projections, the marketing, like folks that had a business plan already developed for in 2019, what's going to happen for the business growth and projections 22, no, from 20, 21, 22, it completely changed. So it's always a living, breathing document of the business. So you're able to address it and update it along with the business day-to-day operations as well.
Just to add up to what Jesus is saying, let's say for the financing part of it, let's say you want a working capital loan to buy small equipment, not large equipment. We will work with you as far as the cost to see how much it would cost you to find out the real amount, because a lot of times people, they said, I need a loan, but literally they don't know how much they need.
Yeah.
So that's where we work with them to make sure they got the right amount of money if they qualify for the loan.
Right. Yeah. And at the same time, the capacity at the same time, because you can't be incurring more debt because the banks, they don't want to associate with more risk. So at the same time, the third step of our journey, it's the financing side. This is where you need to understand and calculate the startup expenses. Is this going to be a website? Is this going to be an online service business? It's going to be an e-commerce. It's going to be brick and mortar. What are some expenses that you need to pay? So this is where you need to start creating that list that you anticipate. It could be the office space. It could be the inventory, the equipment, the licensing, the salaries. Just like kind of business plan for 3 to 5 years, we strongly encourage what Lillian was saying, encourage you to calculate 1 year of monthly expenses, but doing the projections of 3 to 5 is even better. And then I have a question right here. Is it more valuable to have an online business than any other type nowadays? It depends what type of industry that you're in and what services and products you'll be providing. And then once again, the SBA website is going to be one of your best friends, because there's templates as such, creating a spreadsheet of all your expenses. So that you have to create one from scratch from Excel. Right here is a plug and play. So it's definitely helpful, and take advantage of all these tools and resources on your toolbox. So now you know how much you're going to be, are your startup expenses. Now, how are you going to fund your venture? Most businesses, they start off by bootstrapping. It's a way to retain ownership and control over the direction of the business. But as we talked about earlier in the presentation, taking that risk, you have to calculate that risk. So you need to understand and be aware that by going in this method, you're assuming all risk. So it will impact your personal finances. It could delay your retirement if you're not careful. So just be mindful that bootstrapping is a good opportunity, to start out, but at the same time, you're assuming the risk. So calculate that risk at the same time. Now, what are some sources of capital? Family, friends, and fools, the mission-based lenders, the government agencies as such, the SBA, the banks and finance companies, the credit unions, the crowdfunding, angel investors, venture capitalists. All terms based on what type of industry, and we'll be, with our consultants, we'll be able to connect you with the appropriate channels that you might qualify to obtain some capital, or just at least that introduction will be made. Because Lillian, you could correct me if I'm wrong, like banks, they tend to see the historical track of the finances of a business of 1 year, correct?
Yes, well, actually, there's a lot of layers for the bank to give you the loan. One of the layers is, do you have experience? It's what's called the CCs of lending. One of the layers is your experience, how much money you can invest in the business out of your pocket, because no bank is going to take the risk of lending you money if you're not committed with some of your money. That's where the family and family members come in. And one of the things that you need to consider very highly, I recommend looking into your FICO score, because even though you can get funding that can be guaranteed by the SBA, the bank is going to look into your credit. So if your credit is low, work on it, and we can help you with that. We have credit repair consultants that can assist you with that.
Yep.
But the SBA, even what happened with the SBA idle during COVID-19, they were looking into the credit, at least on the SBA idle increase. On the original idle, they were not checking anything. They were just giving out the money. But just be mindful of your credit. Make sure you, and if it's low, work on it. Make it to a level where the bank will accept it.
Correct. And then on the final step, and this is one of Lillian's favorites, it's the appropriate steps to incorporate and launch your business. So like I said, we're going with the 4 major forms of business ownership. But like I said, no two businesses are the same. No two owners, partners, industries. So this is what we strongly encourage you to touch base with your tax and legal professionals to see which is the best alternative for your business. A sole proprietor is a business owned managed by one person. A partnership, just like a marriage, it becomes two or more people legally agree to become co-owners of this business. Corporation, which is where the legal entity with authority to act and have liability apart from its owners. And one of the most common ones that we see is the LLC, which offers protection to the owner from personal liability from any of the debts the business incurs. So for example, my wife loves makeup, and she looks great with makeup. I put on the makeup and I get an allergic reaction. The beauty industry is one of the most litigious industries out there. So I could definitely go and sue the business, but I'm not going to sue the person. So if you have a business registered, the LLC, under your home address, I could knock on your door and sue you, as opposed protecting it from any debts or liabilities from personal to the business liability. So that's something that you have to be mindful and protect yourself from any business debits and lawsuits. Lynn, do you have any insight?
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. Let's go back a little bit to financing, because Camilla wanted to know if the first step is to request a loan or to create a legal company. Banks, unfortunately, will give you a loan if you're a startup. That's where your friends and family comes in. Even if you have good credit, the banks will not take that risk. They will not risk giving you money to a small entrepreneurs. Now, going back to the other area where it says the type of corporations, the first thing that Jesus put on at the beginning of this webinar was the disclaimer. But let me just tell you how I work. Since I do this for a living, I know exactly. I ask several questions and I already know what it should be, but I cannot tell you because there's a liability issue. Jesus twists my hands not to do that. So what I do is I said, okay, this is what the sole proprietor does, the partnership, the corporation, based on what we are working on for the particular client. And then I email them the IRS links to what an LLC is and what elections you can do with an LLC, what you should have a corporation, and request an as a status, the requirements. And with those two tools, you must go to your accountant, because that's the person that's going to be doing the real work for you. I can look at it, I can, give you my opinion, but I'm not your accountant. I am, just serving as a consultant, as a business consultant. But usually what happens is the people talk to their accountants, they're fine. And they make a decision based between the client, their accountant, and herself or himself. So don't worry about the information you're going to be received that is wrong. It's just a tool we will give you. Now, I would not do a sole proprietor because of the liability issues. It does not matter what type of business you have. At least have an LLC. Jesus went over the LLC, the protection, the non-protection, but sole proprietor is even worse. Okay.
At the same time, like I said, depending on your product and business, certain business structures may have advantages, pros and cons. But at the same time, other factors to consider is the personal liability, the taxes, the paperwork to file within the government. So, like what Lynn was saying, consult with your accountants, your legal for guidance and considerations of your venture. And there's additional information from the SBA that could definitely assist you on that front as well. The first avenue, the first way to search for your business name is go through SunBiz. They also have some startup resources, the legal forms, the regulations, information in terms of creating a fictitious name where applicable. My recommendation, before you start registering for a business, always look for it so that there's no infringements or any similar names of the business. So you don't want to be associated with one that has a bad reputation and might be the connotation of the similar name. At the same time, if the business is not inactive, it could be available, but you don't want that same reputation just in case if it was a bad business practice or whatnot. So just your due diligence, just be mindful. This is the first plan, is to search if the name of your business is available or not.
And this is where I come in and I would help you with it. I will walk you through the website to do the process, because there's always step 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. And time is money. If you make a mistake, you have to start from scratch. So with Lillian, she'll guide you through those steps and make sure that all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. And then at the very end, there's gonna be a happy face, of you smiling that congratulations, you are in business in the state of Florida. So that's, by having that guidance, you're not making those mistakes along the way. Everything is preventable, and organized and thorough. And then at the same token, with the IRS, some resources are available, but at the same token, it helps you to get the employer identification number. This helps you obtain the business business loans, open business bank accounts, is if needed, the tax filing and reporting purposes as well. So think of it as a social security number of the business. At the same time, right here, it's more condensed of the small business resources that are available that were provided to you throughout today's presentation. These are some really good websites in terms of how to start your business here in Miami-Dade County. Now, if your business is located outside of Miami-Dade County, just shoot me an email and I'll be able to connect you with the appropriate channels in your local county and municipality to assist you in terms of launching your business. And now we're going to open up for questions. So in the chat, by all means, or the Q&A, put your questions. Myself, Lillian, will be more than happy to answer it for you. And also, by all means, here's our website. Shoot us an email. Our social media channels, by all means, like, share, comment, tweet. How great this presentation was. Share it. Who else do you know that could definitely benefit? By all means, just let us know. We're here to assist you. And also, today's webinar is being recorded. So we'll definitely upload it on a YouTube channel, and we'll be more than happy to email it to you afterwards. All right. So I see I have some questions here. Yes, Camila. Yes, the next step is to request for consultation, which is perfect because there is a QR code right in front of the screen. So you could definitely take a picture of it and you can do it over your phone. But at the same time, I will be emailing you the link as well for us to work with you. So you could definitely do it on both sides. Um, right now or the phone or via email once I send you the presentation and the link of the recording. Any other questions? No, the Miami-Dade Business Navigator, it's that's not a problem. We could work with you in the Broward County as well. So that's not an issue. Any other questions, concerns? You're welcome. Any and Lily, how about with you? Any final thoughts? Any key takeaways that our respective participants could walk away with today's webinar?
I think one of the things that the small entrepreneurs need to do is it doesn't cost you anything to register and to get our services and to get at least an idea of where you stand with your business. Like Jesus said, the first step is to do the business plan. And as I mentioned before, there will be not only me, there will be several consultants working with you. When I was with Jesus under the SBDC, because now I'm with the Navigator program, there was one consultant that did a wonderful job, and she was doing from A through Z, the business plan, which is great. I don't know if we have one in Navigator like Gina that would do that, but if we don't, just think of it as a group of consultants helping you get that business going.
Yep. Yeah, and with the dollars, you will need to register with our consultants to go more in depth, because it ultimately is based on the products and services you're providing to keep tabs and keep track of your clients, but also their behaviors. What's that consumer behavior like? What's their demographics? Because perhaps that you could market more as your primary clients or customers than your secondary. So like that, you could go more in depth and understand where these primary clients they're targeted. Is a particular area, or is it just broad and you have to start searching around as a holistic view of those clients all throughout Miami or where your respected business is located. So it depends, but our consultants will be able to guide you with a definite answer.
Odalis, I would not buy any CRM program yet until you talk to a consultant that is an expert in that field with us. I would not be that consultant because I have no idea how that works, but Jesus knows, and he will send you to the right consultant.
Correct. All right, but like I said, if there's any questions, concerns, I'm putting my email address in the chat. So take advantage, shoot me an email if you don't have any questions or a question that pops up, on your drive home or by all means, I'm always a phone call away, an email away to assist you with any questions, concerns that you may have. But like I said, I will be emailing you the presentation. I will be emailing you the link for the recording so that you could have it as a reference page as well. So I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. And also we have some additional webinars going on in the next few days. So I am also putting our next webinar that's taking place tomorrow, which is in marketing, digital marketing. So it's a good opportunity, even though you haven't started your business, but at least you're already understanding the fundamentals, the foundations of your business. And then also in the next few days as well, we also having a resource fair that will be able to connect you with other navigators, spokes to assist you as well. You get to network with them, and that's taking place on Friday, the 17th of June. So by all means, I'll also be emailing you the information, but I'll be looking forward to seeing you at future workshops, webinars, conversations on how we can assist you with your business needs. We're always a phone call away. So I want to thank you all for attending, and I'll
Thank you.
see you at the next webinar. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Goodbye.
All right.